Welcome to Get Into the Arctic. This is my video about my trip on a Honda 110cc scooter above the Arctic Circle. I've written a book, loads of photos, maps, how I built the bike, Amazon Kindle. This is the bike, got a solar panel with a bicycle panniers on the front. The back is dry bags held in with flat bar aluminium riveted together, which is suspended off the dog basket off the back. This is our first campsite in the New Forest, heading towards Brighton here. That's Max the dog in the back. And this is Dieppe in a lay-by. We camped there about 1 in the morning and was woken up by the commuter traffic. There's a Gorilla solar panel on the front. It didn't really work. What did work is this hammock, it's DD hammock with a midgie net. Brilliant, very comfortable. Belgium and Holland, the cycle routes, scooters are allowed on, which is just excellent. This is the bike on a beach in Holland, and the 110, the Cross Cub or C90, very easy to maneuver, very easy to carry stuff. This particular bike doesn't have a double seat, it's just got a single seat, so it's got a rack on the back so the dog basket can be bolted straight on. This is of Denmark. Very windy here. This is the most western point of Denmark. And this is the beach. You can see them there, but there's like a lot of parachuters there. There's Max just down there. Look at this colour of the sand. It's taken about an hour battling this wind. It doesn't look very strong now. When I was out there on the other side, full of wind turbines for miles, and to drive the bike, I did the bike through this for half an hour. It was awful. Bless me. But I come here because of Max. There's a campsite in Holland. This was facing the sea. It's just an open park. It's not a campsite, sorry. It's just an open park area. Wild camping is so easy there. Another cycle route which the Cross Cub is allowed onto. Lots of ferries out there. I love ferries. And so you're crossing. This is Copenhagen. Bluebird Bullet bicycles. And if you ever look for getting to Scotland, you'll see I own one of these bikes and I went to Scotland on it. Back in 2012, taking wild camping and taking on my gear. It rained and rained. Max in his poncho, but he ripped it to shreds, so I had to cut a hole in my tent footprint to protect him, and there he is in it. And it worked, it really worked very well. But the trip up into Scandinavia was wet. It was wet for about a week and a bit, and it did make life a bit of a drudge, especially because the temperature was dropping all the time, even in the summer. Then we hit the high passes to get to about central Norway, because I went up the coast road. Beautiful, absolutely stunning. It's just full of waterfalls, fjords, waterfalls, glaciers. It's just stunning. But the front rack broke, the steel on it broke, not the aluminium, which was quite odd. And thank goodness this guy came along and did a shuttle service with his car to get me spare parts so we could mend it. And what a saviour, what a brilliant guy. So we bolted the whole bike back together again. Of course, endless ferry trips. Norway is not cheap, but it is spectacular, and it's worth the money, the extra money you got to pay for fuel and for food, etc. The scenery is outstanding, but it was cold, and as I travelled further north towards the Arctic Circle, it was relentless. And I think because I was sleeping outside as well, I never really got warm for over a month. But on saying that, loads of places to camp. This is the sign you follow to follow the coastal route. It's got a like a Celtic knot thing. Um, the bike did really well. It never fails, this bike. That's the bottle from the MSR. That's how it was fitted in the back. It was all made by me. It's just flat aluminium riveted, and the MSR has got bicycle inner tube wrapped around it to protect the paintwork. Fires were a godsend. To get warm, it was just wonderful. Um, Loads and loads of campsites. I've photographed most of my campsites, so anybody who's interested in wild camping will see that it's quite doable, and it's marvellous to do it. Max just loves playing with rocks. You give him a rock and he'll just play for ages. We went on and on, trying to keep warm where we could. Tea. I invented something called Frankfurter tea because I was eating loads of Frankfurters in buns because it was the easiest thing I could heat up. And instead of wasting the hot water, I just put a tea bag in it then and had salty tea. So I invented Frankfurter tea. Waterfalls, endless waterfalls, and then I found that the rear rack was rubbing against the spring and it caused this damage, but it survived the whole trip. This guy allowed me to stay in his sort of ranch house bit. He had gone back, and the seal flippers, they're all into hunting up there, and they're very Americanized. There's a lot of things they like to do with American wives, and they had a fire there so I could get some heat going and stay warm. Max went wild and he started howling in the back, so it was a call of the wild for him, I think. And then onward and forward, heading further north, doing a pose. A lot of these films were just for WhatsApp. They weren't meant for YouTube, but I've pulled them off the computers to sort of make this film. The reason why I'm putting these together now, after the event, and just using photos and that, is that I've just bought myself a Trans Scrambler and I'm going off on that soon. And the purpose will be is to make dedicated films for a dedicated channel, which is this one, Getting to Anywhere. This is me about to cross the Arctic Circle. They've got a huge steel globe on the shoreline. I don't know if you can see it in these shots, but it's there, and that designates when you cross the line. This ferry takes you up to a range of mountains called the Seven Sisters. Yep, somebody sent me that for my birthday. This is Mark, he's a Mercedes scientist, and he bought a CX500 for I think 140 quid. I was going to meet Mark several times on the trip. We camped together one night. This is a cycle route, believe it or not. Met two guys on bicycles from Estonia who were riding around Norway and going to go back home through Germany, and they were collecting rubbish of plastic bottles off the road for food. They could take them into the shops and exchange them. That last shot was of Mark. He had met some campers and was getting quite happy. He was saying to me, "You've got to meet people." And because I'm a bit reserved, so I don't, but I took a leaf out of his book later on and had a whale of a time. So it was generally starting to get really cold. This is on its way to Nordkapp. It's a winter wonderland here. Just Absolutely stunning. I've been riding through this for about 45 minutes non-stop. This is Norcap. And there's the iconic sphere. That's identical to the one that was on the shoreline. Campsite in a sand bay for works. The wind blew the bike over and bent my my suspension bits over. The headlight bulb went, so I had to replace it because you got to ride with your headlight on all the time. This fellow made an appearance, and I left him there, and he played a part in my life about 150 miles further on, which I'll tell you about later. It's the Barents Sea. We're now back on the main of the peninsula of Norway now. Just up there behind the tree line, Max chased out about 60 reindeer.
Yo, I'm just about to have a cup of tea, and look at it, it's just beautiful today. I don't know if you can see it, but all out there is all islands, massive, hundreds and hundreds of islands out there. There's Max. All mountains with snow. I'll see if I can get some footage of reindeer later.
I never did get any shot on any reindeer because every time I got near them, Max barked and chased them off. This was taken by a guy called Jeremy from Tasmania. And these are the famous Finnish
You see my tea,
parks.
my lovely tea.
But to keep it warm, you put it on this little contraption here. You see there's a handle there. You pull the handle and you can keep your tea hot, and that's the kettle. So I keep it nice and warm for myself, you see. And then good, look at that fire. Lovely. Mark had also found his own fire pit. The water for the tea came straight out of the lakes. This is Kimo's wife Anna and Anna's parents in Finland who took me in. They allowed me to stay in their lodge here by the lake. Fed me mushrooms. And that's the outhouse. That's the grandmother, lovely lady. That's some of his friends. Max was trying to get at this Rottweiler. And I played baseball while drunk. Goodness, I gotta lose some weight. And this is the, I said it just looks like a cuckoo clock, and he said that's funny because it is called a cuckoo clock. That belonged to one of Kimo's friends. This is the Russian border. Even the cats are tough in Finland. He was eyeing Max up. And we caught the ferry at Helsinki. Max is stretched out as usual into the ferry. Estonia. Some of the roads not too good. There's a land of Vikings and castles, and apparently bendy trees because it's wee windy. This guy let me stay in his garden. He was a farmer. I rode in there by mistake. Lots of trees out there, lots of places to wild camp. It's not as dangerous as you think. You just got to be sensible, really. This was in Poland, another place I stopped at by the roadside. And this lady was talking to me, and it appeared all she wanted to do was sell me eggs. The phone fell off the bike, and two guys in a Volkswagen ran it over. I went to Emmeline and I met the mayor, and the butterfly came back because I dropped my knife in a lay-by about 80 miles back, and when I got back there I was still able to find it, so I was really pleased because I had the knife for about 30 years. There's another one of the DD hammock, just pulled into a load of trees. I'll switch. Went to the place and I didn't go in, but lots of bikers there, and this guy especially had come a long way. I didn't go in because I felt it was wrong. In Poland again, campsite. This is just before going into Slovakia. I had them in the bike and fields and fields of sunflowers. And I met this guy in a pub when I'd camped, mad as a fish, and we just laughed with each other for about half an hour. Didn't understand each other, and I finally reached Route 66. Campsite was lovely, run by two English people. Loads of fruit, because you're not allowed to sleep wild camp or sleep in laybys there. They'll confiscate your vehicle. This is Croatia, one of their famous gorges. Absolutely stunning place. What was nice is it was nice to be warm. For full details, you can find the whole story in Getting to the Arctic on an Amazon Kindle. To get down to the bottom, you've got to go for a cave system. It is fantastic. And in Croatia, Max got some shut-eye out of the sun because it was lovely. It is. I love Croatia. Now this is the ferry to the island of Vis, also Croatian. This is the town of Vis on the island of Vis. You got Vis on the sort of eastern side, and on the western side you've got Kamisa. This is still Vis. We're waiting for the ferry to dock. The trees on the left is where you all come out. There's cycle hire there, scooter hire. You can't get lost on Vis. It's just the roads all just go around in a big circle. There's one down the centre and a load round to the left. Super yachts galore, loads of money. Huge ferry, takes 4 hours to get there from Split. This is Fort George, built by the British. Now a restaurant. Recommend going there. This is Kamisa. This is where I stayed with Valerie. And there she is on a scooter. She met me out there. Valerie, and she's just about to enter the bunker of certain doom.
There will be certain doom if any harm comes to me. Shannon will get you.
We're going to go in.
Oh my goodness. I should have worn my jacket. Some spiders and cockle something.
Nope. No, it's all free.
Oh, that's a big hole.
Yeah. Big hole.
Oh my word, it's dark. You said it wasn't dark.
You got your torch on?
Yes.
Oh, good.
It's a no. I'm not sure if I want to continue. It's a bit dark and cold, and even that Max looks a bit Scooby-Dooish.
Go get him, Max. Who's down there?
Tell me there's a purpose to this game.
Oh yeah. See, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And just shine it towards your face a bit.
Maxie. It's dangerous. It's just. What was this for?
This is their gun emplacements to shoot the Royal Navy, I think.
Well, how can they shoot when you can't see anything?
Oh yeah, well they got the guns down in the light there.
I think if I was here, I'd just. Shit! Don't do that to me! Oh! David!
Just thought I heard something.
Oh, this is my heart.
What's that? Where's that go?
David, you know I have.
Oh, it's alright. There's another one. Is there anybody in there? No. You know, what we should do is hide in there when the tours come down.
Actually, what we should do is go out. Where's that go?
That's more down there. There's some light here.
Oh, there's a hole here, babe. Okay.
Oh yeah. It's like playing Hero Quest for real.
Oh, look at this. Oh my word. Yes. Look at that view.
See, wouldn't it be a nice place? A fixer-upper.
Oh wow, you could have little. Oh, yeah.
Tables and chairs here, it'd be nice.
Oh, that's beautiful. I did it!
Also been nice.
Yes, but they wouldn't take card.
Oh.
So now, the money that I had for my taxi, I had to spend on this one. So,
You're on candid camera.
well,
So I had to get on another ferry. And this time I was going across the Adriatic to Italy. This is where I'm sleeping tonight. But I have got some foam mats, so I should be alright left. Just kept coming all night, keeping me awake. But we arrived in Italy, fantastic, beautiful, over 40 degrees. They were having a lot of forest fires at that time. And then I got hit by a truck, so the bike got spilled over. Max was okay, I wasn't. I got a broken rib and a lot of bruised ones as well. And luckily Max had got thrown out. The bike did a somersault apparently, and the medics all turned up and patched me up. And I went and stayed in a camp as my leg got infected on the way. But we pushed on through Italy back up into the Alps. Fantastic scenery again. This bike never fails me. It's such a good bike. I met Andy, a cyclist. He was going faster than I was most of the time. Incredibly fit. And because I liked cycling, I kept giving him the thumbs up, and in the end he started talking to me, and because of Max, he loves dogs, and he invited me back to his place, and we slept the night there, and he gave me something to eat and a shower. All this is on my book. So please have a look.